Hey guys, it's Shaye here from Down with Duck & Co. Today I'd like to share with you a little bit of fun with our standing balancing. So our standing balancing in our practice is an important part of our practice. It helps to promote healthy and balanced bone remodeling, which helps promote bone density. So we like to stack our joints when we stand balance. But we also do this in a different way when we're moving and transitioning between balancing postures. So we're going to have a little bit of a play today. So I've got here a chair. You can absolutely use chairs or bring your hand to the wall. So I'm going to show you how you can also use props in your standing balancing. And that's pretty much all you need. So I'm on a mat. You don't really necessarily need a mat. If you have a really thick mat, sometimes that can be hard to balance. So perhaps you skip your thick mat and you take a blanket to pad the back knee. We're going to do a little bit of warm-up and limbering first. So if you need to pad your knees, take any props that help you do that. We always have these chairs here at the studio, so you're welcome to use a chair at home as well. And we'll get started. So find your comfortable seat. I'm sitting in Sukhasana, seated cross-legged. You can sit with your legs forward. You could sit kneeling if that's preferable for you. We're just going to start to move the spine, so bringing the hands down. With the inhale, we arch through the spine, look up. Exhale, rounding through your spine, looking down towards your knees. Inhale, pull the chest through, look up. Exhale, round. Let's go for one more like this. Big breath in. And big breath out. Finding your neutral spine now. We're going to take a twist. Right hand comes behind you. Left hand crosses over. Inhale, lengthen spine. And exhale, find your twist. Drawing that right shoulder back. Keep maintaining the length through the back. Using your breath to see if you can find any more depth in your back without forcing or jamming the back. Take a big breath in. And then exhale, come back to center. We're going to twist opposite direction. So left hand behind, right hand crosses over. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. So some people find more depth in their twist on the inhale. Some people find more depth in the twist on the exhale. So playing with your breath. Staying for one more full breath. And then slowly coming out of your twist. Let's come onto our hands and knees now. Patting those knees if you need to. We're going to find our tabletop shape. So bringing those hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's move through some cat-cows here. Inhale, drop the belly, pull the chest through, look up. Exhale, press your hands round through the spine. Two more, inhale. Exhale. Try to keep the arms straight if you can. Breath in. Breath out. Let's come to our neutral spine. Take your knees nice and wide. Toes touching. Press your hips back to your heels. And we're going to find our balasana, our child's pose shape. So hands slide forwards. Forehead rests on the floor. If this doesn't suit your shoulders, you might bend your elbows and stack your hands. That way your forehead can rest on the back of your hands. Here in your balasana, your child's pose shape, softening your hips towards your heels. Gently pressing your forehead onto the mat or onto the backs of the hands. Staying for one more breath. Then we're going to slowly rise, come back up to our tabletop shape first. Spread your fingers, press your hands. walk your knees back so you come into your low plank. Squeeze your glutes, your stomach. Turn the creases of the elbows forward. Inhale, press the torso forward. Exhale, come down nice and slow. Those elbows brush against those ribs. Forehead to floor. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. Inhale, feeling that chest open. Draw the shoulder blades together and down. Cobra. Bow your forehead. Press your hips back to your heels. Tuck your toes. And your tailbone rises as you find your downward facing dog, your Ardha Mukha Svanasana. So let's pedal out the feet. Move the hips side to side. Maybe you swish your heels to one side, feeling the side body stretch. Swish your heels to the other side. Just spending a little bit of time working into your shape. Then looking between your hands. We're going to take small steps until we arrive at the top of our mat. Take our feet as wide as our mat. Bend our knees deeply. Belly rests on thighs. And we let that head go forward fold. So we're going to spend a few breaths here. You can take breaks if you need to, especially if your blood pressure drops and you get dizzy. You can keep your hands here on the floor, or maybe you take opposite elbows and you start to rock side to side. Nice and slowly. You might start to straighten one leg, straighten the other leg, feeling into the hamstrings, just observing where the backs of the legs are today, making sure there's no pain anywhere in the body, particularly that lower back. Then we're going to bring our hands to the floor, and we're going to heel toe our feet so they're about hip distance now. It's okay if you have a deep bend in the knees. Let that head hang. Nod yes and no, making sure you're not holding too much tension in the neck. Then fingertips come to your shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale your hands to the heart center. Inhale, arms up, palms touch. Soften your knees, exhale, fold. Fingertips to shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step your feet back, find your plank. Spread your fingers, press your hands, squeeze your glutes, one straight line with the body. Take a big breath in, then drop your knees, untap your toes. Inhale, look forward, spin the creases of the elbows forward. Exhale, come all the way down, elbows brush against those ribs. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. Inhale, cobra. Bow your forehead, hips back to your heels, tuck your toes, down dog. Look between your hands, take small steps until you arrive at the top of your mat. Fold in your Uttanasana. Fingertips to shins, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Soften your knees, inhale, come all the way up. And exhale your hands to the heart center. Inhale, arms up, palms touch. Soften your knees, exhale, fold. Fingertips come to shins, inhale, look forward. Plant your hands, step your feet back, find your plank. Take a breath in. Then drop your knees, exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Bow your forehead, hips back to heels, tuck your toes. Down dog. Starting to warm the body now. Pedal out those feet. Let's inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Give it a little help if it doesn't make it all the way. Step in with the other foot. Fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Soften your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. And then exhale, everything right back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step your feet back, find your plank. So your cat-cow is your alternative here. So if your vinyasa flowing, you'll drop your knees and you'll come all the way down. If you'd like to cat-cow, you'll just move your spine and your extension flexion. If you come down to your floor, cobra, bow the forehead, hips back to heels. down dog. So vinyasa flow or cat-cow is available for you. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, foot between the hands. Step in with the other foot, fold. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, straight back down. Inhale, look forward. Pull out your hands, step your feet back. So you can drop your knees and take your cat-cow. Or you can drop your knees and take your vinyasa flow. Inhale, cobra. Bow the forehead, hips back to heels, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Move if you need to move. Inhale, right leg lift. Exhale, right foot between the hands. Have the back knee if you need a little cushioning. Otherwise, you're going to drop down to that back knee and tuck the back toe. Pull your hips back. Arms rise. You can have your hands to heart center if you prefer. Up to you. Scissor your thighs together. Squeeze the glutes. Squeeze the stomach. Breathe. Take a big breath in. Bring the right hand on the inside of the right knee. Left hand forward, flip the palm, left thumbs down. And then we're going to sweep that left arm back and find an open twist. You might bring the left hand to hip. Or perhaps you wrap the arm around the back for your half bind. Take a peek at that right knee, make sure it's not falling in. And feel like you're really encouraging that left shoulder back without jamming or forcing the twist. Take a big breath in. Let's exhale, slowly come out of the twist. Hands to floor, tap the back toe, lift the back knee. We're going to step the back foot forward to meet the front. Fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale the hands to the heart. So we're going to spread our toes and press our feet into the floor. When we stand balanced, we want to work from the ground up. Activate your legs by pulling up your kneecaps. Feel your quads and your hamstrings engage. Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze your stomach. Press your palms. Shift your weight over to the right. And we're just going to lift that left foot off the floor. Just a tiny bit. Check your right knees not locking. So if you hyperextend and your knee goes beyond the joint, you want to just micro bend that knee. So when you micro bend that knee, you feel it but nobody can see it. And it just activates the muscles around the joint and you start to create strength to support that hypermobility. Place your left foot on the floor, shake it out. Inhale, arms up, palms touch. Exhale, soften your knees forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step your feet back, find your plank. You can drop your knees and take your cat-cow. Otherwise, knees on or off the floor. We come to or through chaturanga. Working with our cobra, up dogs there if it's in your practice. Bow your forehead, hips back to heels, down dog. Getting ready for the opposite side, I'm spinning round. Let's inhale the left leg high. Exhale, left foot between your hands. Drop down to that back knee or tap the back toe. Pull your hips back, arms rise. So you can adjust your hands any way you like. And then we're going to find our open twist. So our left hand comes down in front of that left knee, right arm forward. Flip the palm, sweep the arm back. You might bring the hand to hip, or you might continue the arm around the back. Encouraging that right shoulder back. You might notice a big difference. I certainly feel a big difference in my twist today. So one side you might have more availability than the other side. So we observe these differences. Maybe don't worry about it. Don't judge what you're feeling, just observing. Being aware. Take a big breath in. Let's slowly come out of our twist. Hands to floor. Tap the back toe, lift the back knee. Step the back foot forward. Fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale your hands to the heart center. So we're going to turn to the side so you can see. And then this side I'm going to show you how we use our prop. It's pretty easy. But we're going to spread our toes, press our feet, pull up through our kneecaps, squeeze the glutes. Notice how you lengthen through the spine when you do that. I'm going to bring one hand down to the chair and my other hand to the hip. Then I'm going to just shift my weight over to the left and hover my right foot off the floor. So you can see that my standing leg is still straight, there's no difference. The only difference is I have my hand on a chair and my hand on the hip. That's it. So making sure you're not locking out on this knee. So this is giving yourself an opportunity to really notice what you're feeling in your body as you're doing a pretty mild standing balance. So we've got our standing legs straight. We're stacking our joints. And release. Shake it out. Inhale, arms up, palms touch. Soften your knees. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step your feet back, find your plank. You can take your cat-cow. On these on or off the floor, come to or through chaturanga, up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. From here, we're going to look between our hands and take small steps until we arrive at the top of our mat. Fold in your Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, find that length through the spine. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale your hands to the heart. Spread your toes. Press your feet. Pull up through your kneecaps. Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze your stomach. Shift your weight over to the right. And this time we're going to lift our left knee. So your standing leg is straight here. Stacking our joints. And we're going to find our tree. So in our tree posture, you might bring your left foot to your right ankle and your left toes touch the floor. Press the palms, this helps us balance. Or you might bring your foot onto the ankle. Or perhaps you reach down and bring your foot on the inside of that right thigh. Press the palms. If you want more, you might lift the arms. Or take a mudra, pointer to thumb, opening up the branches. My standing leg is still straight here. Pulling up through that kneecap. Pressing the foot and thigh together so you've got that opposite motion, helps us balance. And if you're really comfortable, you can close your eyes. I'm not really comfortable, so my eyes are staying open. Woo. Then we're going to step that foot down, shake it out, and set up for the other side, and I'm going to show you with the chair. So spread your toes, press your feet, activate your legs, squeeze your glute. Squeeze all of them. Then bring your left hand onto your chair, shift your weight to the left side, and your right knee lifts. So you might bring, once again, down to the ankle, toes touch, on the calf muscle, not on the knee. We want to avoid any pressure on the knee joint or inner thigh. Standing leg is straight, pulling up through the kneecap, maybe micro bending out for my hyperextending students. And then, once you're stable, you might take one finger only on the chair or the wall. Or if you're not working with props, you extend your arms above your head. Maybe you close your eyes. Then we're going to release that. Shake it out. Got to do the shake. Inhale, arms up, palms touch. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step back, find your flow, cat-cow, whatever you want to do. Coming 2 or 3 chaturanga. Inhaling, up dog cobra. And leaning back in your down dog. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale, right leg lifts high. Exhale, right foot between the hands. Make sure it goes all the way. Soften your left knee, look forward. And then we're going to rise and find our high lunge. Hands can be anywhere you like at this point. We're going to scissor the thighs together. Feel your legs engage. You might keep a bend in the back knee. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the stomach. We're going to bring our hands down onto our hips. So we're coming into our warrior 3, our Virabhadrasana 3. And find your hip bones. So your hip bones point forward at this point. We want to make sure we stay that way, so we don't want to open up the hips. So bring your hands to your hips so you can be aware of where your hips are when you're standing balancing. Then we're going to step our back foot in halfway and straighten through our front leg. Pull up through your right kneecap, ground the foot like we've been practicing. Keep your glutes and stomach engaged, hands to those hips. Come high on the toes of that left foot. Keep coming forward until the left foot lifts. Make sure you're not opening up that left hip. So we want the left knee to point forward. And then we tilt forward from the waist, dorsiflex flex the left foot, and we find our warrior 3. So our left knee points down, our left hip is closed. Your hands might come to the heart, or perhaps you extend your arms forward. My standing leg stays straight. If you fall, you gain 10 points. Take a big breath in. Then soften that knee, step the foot back, and find your high lunge. Voila. So you can see when we took warrior 3, we had our standing legs straight. But what if we want to transition and we want to move? That's when we bend the knee. We soften the joint, we move, and then we straighten. So when we stand balance, our standing leg is straight. When we're moving and transitioning, we bend the knee. So let's set up for a transition here. So coming back to our warrior 3, let's keep our hands here this time. Step in halfway with your back foot. Straighten that right leg. Pull up through your right kneecap. Come forward. Lift your left leg. So your right leg, your standing leg is straight. Pull up through your right kneecap. Then we're going to bend the right knee. Soften that joint. And then swing our left leg through. Lift the left knee and interlace our hands underneath the left thigh. So we find stillness, stacking our joints. Then we want to move again. So we bend our standing legs, squeeze those glutes, hands to heart. Tilt forward from the waist. Send that left leg long. And find our warrior 3. Straighten that standing leg. Soften your knee, hands to floor. Glide your right foot back and find your float. Cat-cow, whatever it might be. Now for the left side, we're going to use a chair, which you don't have to, but just so you can see. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, step the left foot between the hands. Soften your back knee, rise to your high lunge. Set up your high lunge. Activate your legs, your glutes, your stomach. We're going to start by bringing the hands to the hips. Remember the placement of the hips. We don't open the hip. We keep that right hip dropped. Then we're going to step in halfway with the right foot. And I'm going to take my hand onto the chair. Pull up through your left kneecap, activate your leg. Come high on the right toes. Tilt forward from the waist. So I've got my hand on the chair. And I've got my other hand on the hip. Right knee points down. I've got this leg straight. I'm pulling up through the left kneecap. Glutes are super active. Stomach's active to protect your lumbar. And the hand on the chair doesn't take away from your standing balancing experience. It just helps you stay stable, especially if you've got any injuries. And now we want to move. So I'm going to bend through that left knee, swing the right leg through, and with one hand, take under the thigh. Now I'm stable, I straighten that standing leg, I stack the joints. And now I've come to one finger on the chair. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. So we hold in stillness in our standing balance. We want to stack the joints, straightening the leg. Now I want to transition back to my warrior 3. So I'm going to bend through that left knee, tilt forward from the waist, send that right leg back, left leg is still bent. Find my stability, drop the hip, then straighten through that standing leg. Hand here, hand here. Then I want to bend through my left knee, hands come to the floor, and I step back and we find our flow. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. Now we're going to drop down to our knees and we're just going to pull it down a little bit. So coming down onto the back, nice and slow. Have your knees bent, feet flat on the floor. And we're going to just knock the knees side to side. So arms might come out to the side. Release the back a little bit. Breathe. Then from here we're going to take a reclined twist. So bringing your knees together, your feet together. We're going to shift the hips first to the left. And then we're going to drop the knees nice and slow over to the right. Your right hand might come on top of the left thigh. You really want to ground that left shoulder into the floor. If you need less in your reclined twist, drop your knees. If you would like more, lift the knees a little higher. So find a shape that's suitable in your body, in your back, and breathe. So when we hold our breath, we hold tension. Let's inhale nice and slow. Bring those knees back and make sure we're centering the hips. Reset. Then we shift our hips over to the right and we drop those knees over to the left. Your left hand might rest on top of the thigh for more. Ground that right shoulder. So where you look in your twist is up to you. If you look up to the ceiling, that's your nice neutral neck. But if it's okay and healthy for your neck and you'd like a little more, you might look over the right shoulder. So looking over the shoulder in the opposite direction of those knees, lifting the knees for more, dropping the knees for less. You modify your twist any way you like. It's really important to listen to the feedback that your body's giving you in any shape you take, in anything you do, even if it's cleaning the house, as I've discovered the hard way. Breathe. gently bring those knees back to centre. Nice and slow, centre your hips. And I'm going to invite you to test if it's okay to draw your knees in. So we're going to do this really slowly. I'm going to come high on the toes first, take an inhale. And then exhale, lift the knees and move super slowly. Give your back time to communicate to you. You might come to here, and this is enough, and maybe you'll rock side to side, and that feels like more than enough for you. If you've got more space, you might draw the knees in even closer to those armpits, rocking side to side. And if it's available in your body, if you think, ooh, I've got more space, I want more. Keeping the knees bent, you might point the feet up and take behind the back of the thighs, or the ankles, or the outer edges of the feet for your happy baby. Stillness, rocking side to side, whatever you want to do. Couple more breaths in whatever shape you've taken with your body. And then our most important part of our practice is our shavasana, our very deep rest. So we're going to set up for that. Take your blanket if you'd like a little comfort. Extending the legs. Allow the feet to fall naturally. Palms might rest up today, or perhaps the shoulders don't like that and they come down. You might like to roll onto your side if that's better for your back, or maybe even your belly. Whatever shape allows you to try to relax every single muscle in your body. Let go of your practice. Return to your natural breathing. Have more time to stay in Shavasana today, feel free to stay here. Otherwise, wiggling your fingers and toes, taking some bigger movement, maybe a full body stretch. Rolling to one side. Pressing yourself up. Finding your comfortable seat. Palms together. Bow the head to the heart. Thank yourself for this time, for being playful, and for having a go. Namaste.